Morning. Good to see you guys. I'm excited. Go ahead. You can ask questions. We just got our walkthrough with our rookies. It's pretty cool to have those guys here.
When when an offense takes a look at your defense early in the season, what do you think? What do you want them to see? What's going to be the identity of your defense?
I want them to see that we're still the standard of what we've always been, an attacking defense that plays fast, we play violent, we play with speed, and we finish.
What's been the biggest adjustment to your new role?
For me, it's just now you're in charge of things. You know, you have to plan your days differently. You have to plan it out for the rest of the staff. You're more involved with the draft, which was cool. You know, overall, just not just a certain position. So that's been fun.
Is your staff intact now? I know you were looking for a defensive line assistant, maybe some other spots. Is everybody here at this point?
Yeah, the staff is great. And that's the one thing that's been really beneficial to me is knowing the guys and having the staff that I have right now that's also been here for a while. I'm already familiar with them. They know how we play. They understand our defense. They understand if we need to, change certain things, not so much as like shifting what we do, but just evolving like the league evolves as quick as it does in 1 year or 1 week or 2 weeks. And then also adding Brandon Staley, which has been awesome for me. I mean, he has experience as a coordinator. He has experience as a head coach. So he sees things holistically. He knows how to build plans, and then just getting him in here and spending extra hours and just talking football with him. He's very bright, and it's really a humble guy who's smart and knows football, and that's been really awesome and helpful for me.
How do you explain his role? I mean, what will he be doing throughout the offseason when the season begins? Where does he sort of hang out?
Really just how I said it. It's more holistic. He's been kind of helping me overall. He's been involved with pretty much everything, as far as here, we did this. I've been kind of talking him through how we play certain things, watching stuff throughout the league and what other teams do, some of the things that he did. Would this fit? Would it not fit in our defense? And some things I was already familiar with just watching different defenses. You naturally see other defenses do things. And he's been more connected with the DBs and the nickels and but he also has experience elsewhere with DNs and outside linebackers. But with the staff that we have, I think for me it's going to just be really helpful that he's done it before and he's had success and he's been a head coach as well. So it's just, like I said, it's been great.
Nick, you're a first-time coordinator. What is it that you think got you this job?
I think you'd have to ask Kyle and John and ownership. I think I was here. I understand the defense, familiarity with it, with the guys, and how we play, what's expected. I think we all know what we expect out of the defense and our team, so probably have to ask Kyle about that.
Kyle has alluded to, upon hiring you, getting kind of back to what you guys have been in the past, where maybe it veered off a little bit from that last year. Specifically, where did things maybe go away from that last year, and how do you get things back to that?
I mean, it's just, the details of what we've done in the past, with just our coverages and how we play them. That's it.
If you look at the roster, most of the personnel turnover, I would guess, was the defensive line. A lot of guys left, brought a bunch of replacements in. How is that front possibly changing? Like, is there certain things you want to do to make it a little bit more unpredictable, or just different style of guys on the interior too?
Pro sports, the NFL, it's tough. There's changes all the time, whether it's coaching or players, and we were fortunate to have a lot of these guys like Eric for a long time and did a lot of great things for us. But we did replace him and JK and some of the guys that we had last year with some guys that we're really excited about. I mean, Floyd and Malik inside, and then getting Jordan Elliott as well. Yetur Gross-Matos. We got some young guys mixed in with some veteran guys that really have performed and we're really excited about. Also that we have them for a couple of years. It's not like last year where we had gotten the guys that was kind of 1 year and gone, and it's someone that can get in our system with Coach Kasarik, and really just be aggressive and attack. As far as changing things, no, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to do what we do and be an attacking defense.
This defense has had a straightforward four-man pass rush for a very long time. Are you looking to sort of add a little bit to that schematically in terms of simulated pressures or whatever?
Well, we always are looking to evolve in certain ways. I think there's things throughout the league that you see, and it's like, will this work, will it not? But as far as what we do, our bread and butter, we're going to do that.
Is your relationship with Kyle naturally
naturally change when you go into this position? Obviously, we know Kyle gets involved in a lot of things. What was your relationship just kind of coaching-wise with Kyle, and is it a little different now?
Yeah, now I'm more connected with him. We talk a lot more. You have to. I mean, he's very busy being the head coach and running the offense and stuff. I think now you have a little bit more free time. It's been cool, especially with what we've done with the draft, having just going through the draft and kind of talking through, even before that with free agency, like what our team looks like and what we needed to look like and who we want to target. So in that respect, it was a lot more connected with him.
You met Malik Mustafa for the first time yesterday, and what struck me was that he's built almost like a linebacker. Obviously, on tape, he played safety really well. He talked about that Panther position that he played at Wake Forest. When you look at that versatility, is that something that you envision him being able to do for your defense as well?
I just think with safeties today and defensive backs today, you need to be versatile. Even linebackers, I mean, look at what we've done with certain guys that have kind of been in different positions, and it's such a fast game, and you offenses look to expose you in certain ways, so you have to be, versatile. So we like when guys have the versatility, but we also just loved his play style. Even with Renardo Green, it's how he played, and even with Tatum Bethune, they fit how we want to play football and how we do play football. And when we see guys like that, it's like, okay, do they fit us? And he does.
What learning lessons do you take away from last year now in your new role?
Excuse me?
What learning lessons do you look at from last year now going into this position?
Well, I think you learn every year. I think for me, it's more just getting prepared for the season and getting our players prepared and our staff and everybody prepared that we're playing and presenting it to our players in this, with one voice, and we're doing it all with the same direction. And that, again, like I said, speed, violence, and finish is what I want it to look like.
Your name has come up for the past year or so. It's been in relation to the ball, emphasis on taking away the football. How did that role come about? And I mean, it seems kind of obvious. You want to take the ball away. You want to keep the ball on offense. How did that come about, and what is your emphasis when it comes to generating takeaways?
Yeah, taking it, and it was also about protecting it too, our offense and special teams involved in that too. Kyle does the meetings on Thursday for the team. They're always, it's different people have done it in the past here. And when I first got here, I did the same thing for Pete Carroll in Seattle for 4 years. So when I came, I kind of found out that I had done it in the past. And so I naturally went in here and did it. But it's just technique. It's more mindset than anything. You have to think about it, and you have to train that thought, and then it becomes habit, whether it's attacking it or protecting it. And the main thing is that everybody's involved. If you're blocking, you have ball security, for the guy who has the ball. If you're on defense and you're attacking it, whether you're the first man in, second man in, high point, tips and overthrows, got to get those. You guys don't know that? Okay.
Along with Pete Carroll, who else has influenced you in your coaching career?
There's been a lot. There's probably too many to name. I mean, I played for a lot of really good coaches, even, like Frank Beamer in college, and Bud Foster was our D coordinator, and, going through the 10 years playing, a lot of really good coaches.
Do you do over the offseason and just evaluating offensive trends and maybe how you want to combat those, or do you do that work?
Say that again?
How much work do you do in terms of evaluating trends around the league, in terms of how offenses are developing and ways you might want to combat that?
That's something we mix in throughout our days. Like when the season first ends, we kind of split your day with evaluating the free agents, the pro free agents, and evaluating ourselves. And then after that, it turns into the draft while you're still doing that. And then you start to do little projects that are evaluating what's happening in the league. And we give those sections to different coaches, and we're continually watching it. And always, like I said, you try and learn, you try to evolve because you want to win games.
Nick, you had some really good. Speaking of that self-evaluation, the run defense did slide last year relative to the years before. Is there anything in particular that you guys are looking at philosophically this year to write the course in that regard?
There's certain things we learned when we watched it, and we're going to get it corrected.
Nick, last year you guys drafted Winters and Graham, and they looked really good in the preseason. They didn't play a lot as the season went on. How do you evaluate their rookie year? And with Greenlaw out, do you expect those guys to contend for that starting spot opposite Fred?
We always wanted to be competitive. We got Devondre Campbell, another really good sign for us. The guy's been a really good player in the league for a long time. He's been a Pro Bowler. We're excited about that, but also with the development of Jalen Graham and D. The way that those guys play, again, Jalen played more of, he was a high school quarterback. He was more of like a safety type that played more out of the box, like Fred Warner did that you kind of move in. So sometimes, with him, it's just making that transition. And then D has come a long way too. Now we love his play style. He plays fast. He's physical. And I think both those guys so far, what we've seen, they just continue to grow and want to see them compete once we get to these next couple of weeks and then into training camp.
When you mentioned Brandon Staley saying, Dad, I've used this before, we work here. Are there situations where you're like, well, maybe, like, let's see, you got to see on the field, and it won't be known maybe until training camp? I mean, might you try to just kind of try stuff and see what works?
We did that a lot. That's football. You try something and it may not work. And I'm not saying that with this, but we had that plenty of times in Seattle, a couple times in Seattle as well, where we might be evaluating something and Pete would say, hey, maybe we need to try this, and you might spend a practice or two in the off season and try and iron it out and see if you want to use it, and you may or may not. It just depends on, it's first for me, is it going to slow the players down? And you don't want that, not the way our players play. So if it can fit our system and our players can still play fast, and it gives us a competitive advantage, I think everything is geared towards, can it help us win games and play good defense?
Well, you've had experience working with linebackers, DBs. What's your relationship with Nick Bosa, and what do you have to do to maximize what you can get out of him?
Nick's great. You never have to question how he's working. We hope to get him here in a couple of weeks, for, like he always comes back here towards the end. And relationship's great. He's one of the best in the league, and he was, Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. I think a lot of the stuff that gets overlooked is how he plays in the run game. He's real physical. He's not just a guy that can get to the quarterback and affect it, which he does that at an elite level also.
What did the defense lose when Kyle Shanahan went down last season, and what is it gaining when he comes back?
Main thing with him is he's got experience and he's a heck of a player. He's really, really good at communicating. He's smart. He sees things, has a full understanding of our system. And when he gets back, we're going to be excited. I know he's excited. He was out there on the field the other day at our, we're in phase 2 right now, so we're on the field doing a little bit of, work with our players and just talking to him. He's excited. So when he's ready, he'll be ready, and we'll be excited to have him back.
Obviously, your first podium moment, you're going to have many more. People are now looking at you on how this defense is going to run. We know there's been, a few defensive coordinators through here last few years for promotions or otherwise. Have you had to brace for this? Just the public-facing part of this. People are going to be watching you on the sideline. People might be mad if the defense doesn't play great. They might love it when the defense doesn't plays tremendously. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said before, for me, we all know the standard here, and we all want to win. We all want to play great defense, and that's the expectation. But I have that on myself. Our coaches do. Our players do. What is said, I'm not really worried about it. I just know what we want to get done and what I want to get done. So regardless of what's said, good or bad, I just work and go to the next day and work and then go the next day and then work and try and provide our players with the best information and, challenge them to be the best that they can be, and then everything will be just fine.
Have you decided where you will call plays on game day and why?
Yeah, I'll be on the field.
What do you prefer about it?
I like being on the field. I was a player, and it feels good to be on the field, and I want to look the players in the eyes and talk to them, and I feel like that'll be the right thing.
What's your style? Is it like a solid DeVito kind of on the sidelines? How are you on the sidelines now that you're in charge?
I don't know yet. We'll see.